Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Straight Talk for the Soul series. I'm Cari Murphy, your host, creator, and founder of this global broadcast and community. I am so grateful that you are here and that you chose to spend your time with us today, because today I'm celebrating the completion of 10 seasons of this show. Now, I will be back here to celebrate season 11 with all of you right around the corner. We just need to get set up and ready to bring you 30 more speakers and brand new shows, and we will begin season 11 Monday, April 15th. So, you will have access to all Season 10 replays until we start Season 11. So enjoy today's show, of course, and then savor the flavor of all of the incredible adventures that we went on throughout this season by listening to replays as we get geared up for Season 11. It has been an absolute pleasure and privilege and honor to walk this journey with all of you and feel the energy of this community expanding with each passing season. And it's humbling and rewarding to realize that this is our final show of Season 10. I'm thrilled and excited to deliver it with my good friend and energy healer, Beth Horne Dobler. She's here, and we're going to end this season with a bang. We're going to reset your neural pathways so you can flow in the frequencies of abundance, and we're just going to have a great time. Before I go any further, I do encourage you to subscribe to this show. It is a free platform that you can access at straighttalkforthesoul.com, and you can listen to all of our replays on iTunes and YouTube, and you can connect with us further in our Facebook group or on Instagram. Just enter in Straight Talk for the Soul to find us. Excuse me. And to find me personally, just enter in Cari Murphy, and I will look forward to seeing you out there. And again, today we're talking about resetting your neural pathways to flow with abundance, and who doesn't want that, right? When the universe, and it does all the time, presents you with challenges, especially those that keep repeating, it does so with love and as an offering, a call for you to open up and go deeper into the arms of the divine. And for the divine to reach you, you have to be open to receive. So if you're not sure what that means or how to receive openly, today you're going to learn how to clear and flush what blocks you, what obstructs you from hearing the call of the divine. You're going to learn how to flow love, shine your light full out, share that light fearlessly, and live your life on purpose, all while manifesting abundance in all areas of your life with grace and with ease. So part of this is having some fun, and if you listen to this show often, that is what we do here. So expect a good dose of laughter along the way today. There is no better way to up-level your frequency than with joy and laughter and play and delight. So we're going to do that today. You're also going to experience, we're going to talk to Beth about how she came to accept that she was, is, and always has been communicating with the divine. Through her story and the energy that she will be flowing today, you'll be able to see, hear, feel, and know how your own journey is preparing you for a deep dive with the divine. You'll also experience your frequency being tuned up with a brand new guided, energetically infused activation that will take place in the quantum field. You'll learn how to tap into and receive needed support to move you into what is possible for you. And we'll talk about how to use the power of your breath and just being in the present moment so that you can move through any changes or challenges or chaos and just the basic crud of life that you may be going through. We want to lift you up today, and that is our intention. In addition, Beth will be taking live callers, and what she's going to do is she's going to connect in with your higher self, your guides, and celestial team to deliver a message to you about what you need to flush, just flushing out the old so that you can receive what is possible for you. So if you've called in by phone, press star 2 to raise your energetic hand and wave it at me and let me know that you want to be considered for this. And to receive this guidance for those callers, all you have to do is ask Beth one question, okay? So get this ready if you want to be considered for this. What area most needs flushing in my life so that I can open to receive and manifest abundance in all areas with grace and ease? So we're going to keep it to that question so we can keep things simple and easy, okay? Now, let me tell you more about Beth, and then we're going to dive in and get started. Beth Horne Dobler is a former Chicago prosecutor and a trial attorney. She put herself through college and law school in the 80s as a single mom, having had her first child at 18. She attended law school at a time when women only made up 10% of the class, and she was the only teen mom. Beth's experience as a lawyer was very masculine, but through the years, the calling that she felt that there was more for her to do nudged her forward as she tried to find the key to her purpose work. She spent nearly 30 years as a lawyer, but it wasn't until let's see, when was this? 2011, at the age of 57, that she finally opened fully to what more she was here to do and be and have and create. So she quit the practice of law and she moved to California to see what was possible for her. And it took that radical, terrifying move for Beth to open up to the divine feminine that was waiting to come through her and deepen and develop her lifelong connection to the divine realm. It was only in the face of that bold move that she was able to open to the psychic, medium, intuitive, spiritual counselor and energy healer that she is and always had been. So given all of her years as a trial lawyer and her ability to walk in both worlds, the straight world and the woo-woo world, she is an accomplished and effective speaker. Her background and training and skills combined with her rich and varied life experience gives her a keen and unusual insight into the human condition and what it takes to move you from where you are to where you want to be, living an abundant life on purpose with grace and a lot of ease. So I am beyond excited that she's here to play and celebrate with us today. So please join me in opening your hearts and extending waves and waves of love and light and joy to Beth as I welcome her to this show. So welcome, my friend. I'm so happy you're here.
Oh, thank you. I am too. It's just wonderful to be here, to feel everyone who's here, and to just be with you, Cari, is my honor, privilege, and delight. It's just, I feel like Princess Diana waving to everyone while you were saying raise your energetic hand. I raised mine and waved it in a sacred aid to everybody, and it's just delightful to be here with everybody. Hi.
We're going to have so much fun today, Beth. Like we were talking about, Beth was supposed to be on when I don't know, a week or two. I forget when it was. You were supposed to be on. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
Yes, and then we decided on today, neither one of us realized in that moment that Mercury was going to go direct today, which is so perfect, and that it would be the last show of the season. And so who better to do that, with me than you? And as we were talking about before we went live, it's the perfect, it's very divinely designed that we're here together today. So I want to ask you, I know that you were in deep meditation and connection with the divine this morning. A lot was kind of coming through, and I know that let's start with some of the messages that came through that feel important for you to share with this group. I know that they wanted us to start in a virtual circle, but I'm going to let you take that away and share what came through.
Okay, so I got up and obviously was keenly aware that the show was coming, and I thought, okay, let me do my regular meditation, and they said, no, go outside and water. And I thought, all right, well, I'll get out in nature, and I was doing my energy exercises, and at one moment when I raised my arms up and looked up towards the sky, the sun, the trees, they said, this is what we want you to do when you start the show. So if everyone can just take a moment and close their eyes, the point of the universe in doing this is to bring more light into our virtual circle, into each and everyone's heart who is listening to this call live or on the replay. We have and are creating an M field, a morphogenetic M field, by your presence and participation in Cari's show and call with me today. So we're going to bring in and allow the divine to grace us with even more light and love and energy to up-level us and hold and sustain us as we continue to move through, as human beings, the up-leveling that's happening to the earth, the new fifth dimensional energies that are continuing to come in. So just sit or lay down or whatever comfortably. If you can close your eyes, please do. And imagine extending your hands, your right hand up, your left hand down, out in front of you, as if you are holding the hand of the person next to you. And just imagine all of us here on this call in a circle with our right palm up to receive and our left palm down to flow to the next person. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, let go of everything that isn't the truth and light of you. And now see, sense, feel, and allow brilliant diamond white light to flow in to the circle, to the center of this magnificent, beautiful, big, bountiful circle from the heavens above. And as that light comes and joins all of us, receive it into your crown. Let it flow down to your heart, down to your root, down your legs, and out the soles of the feet into Mother Earth. Taking a moment to feel the energetic connection of us connected to the heavens, to each other, and to Mother Earth. Take a deep breath in and exhale, feeling into the oneness, the sacred oneness with all that is happening right here, right now. And then as you're ready, you can release your hands and open your eyes, or stay as you are, and hold this space for the rest of this call, this space of united, bountiful oneness with each other and with all that is, as the divine is running energetic upgrades throughout this call, whether live or on the replay, for each and every one of us who are open and ready to receive this, to assist us in moving higher into what more is possible for each and every one of us, into being more of service to each other, to ourselves, and to the planet. So just with your breath, come back to now. That's beautiful.
Beautiful. Yes, it was perfect. We are in a beautiful sacred circle. I hope everyone felt that. And that was a beautiful way to begin. I really do consider this, Beth, a sacred circle. And we are all so connected. And that was a wonderful way to begin. And I want to talk to you a little bit about, before we move into abundance and all the other beautiful things we're going to talk about, you were sick for the last few weeks. I mean, you're better now, thank goodness, and you're here with us. And I'm bringing it up because you said it was okay to do so, and to talk about, what the divine message of all of this was for you. And this happened because your father made his transition, and this is where it began. But and I know you wanted to talk about this because I think a lot of people can relate. So what did you want to share about that, and what has come through with regard to the whole experience for you?
So my dad had Alzheimer's and a lot of lung issues, and I was his overseeing his care. He was in Chicago, I'm in California, and it had been a long, hard 6-year journey of overseeing and caring for my dad. And then but I was ready. I really worked very hard with him on the astral, having soul-to-soul conversations in my meditations, as well as talking to him in person about how he could let go and cross over, because I didn't want him to suffer. And on January 9th, he made his transition with ease and grace, and I was so grateful, and I just was, it was like almost like a spiritual high, because I was so grateful that he left. He suffered enough, and he hadn't gone as bad as he could have. So I was so grateful. And then a couple weeks later, I started to notice grief, and I kept wanting to be above it. Like, I didn't realize it at the time, but it was confusing to me because what I was really trying to do was a spiritual bypass. Like, the right thing to do is to celebrate and not feel grief. That wasn't a conscious thought, but that was the underlying program. And so I wasn't fully embracing my own human grief and loss at the loss of my dad in the physical. And then by now it's a month ago, my grandson was very ill with the flu all in the chest, and I had to take care of him for a few hours. And when I got ready to leave, his head was all sweaty from his fever, and I felt just so much like I want to relieve his suffering. Again, that same thing, that same theme of wanting to relieve the other's suffering and pain. And I wanted to kiss him goodbye. And the reason I wanted to kiss him goodbye was to give him love and comfort and relieve his pain. And I said to myself, okay, well, you can't kiss him on the face. He's too sick. And then I went to kiss him, looked at his head, which was all sweaty. And instantly, as I kissed him, I had this conscious realization, you are taking in just as much of the virus this way as if you kissed him on the lips. And I felt this sort of dark gray, green wisp of air like you would see in a Disney movie, a witch or something, casting a spell. It was just like that, and I felt it come into my body. And I laughed, and I did all this stuff to clear it, to release it, because I had the knowing at the moment that wispy virus breath came into me that I had taken in his illness as a way of trying to heal him, and that's not how you do it. And I know that's not how you do it. I didn't do it on purpose. And nothing worked because the next day I was super sick, and I spent 5 days in bed. I couldn't eat. I drank water. I was taking all my potions, and I couldn't tolerate any sound, no music, no TV, I couldn't read. I literally laid there, and the divine shut everything down. I at one point cried and sobbed, have I lost my powers? I think I've lost my mojo. No chills, no head buzzing, no seeing anything, no nothing. And then at the worst moment, I did hear one of my BFFs, Archangel Michael, said, stop it, we're working with you. And then I just breathed and went through it. And then the next 2 weeks, which was leading up to my father's memorial, which required me to travel, all this stuff started happening. I started, seeing different things. They were not pleasant by any means. I mean, it was the heartache and pain and sorrow and illness of both sides of my lineage that has rested in the lungs. It was dark. It was heavy. It was hard. And then I would continue to release and clear and cleanse and let things go and go and go. And here we get ready to travel, and I totally began losing my mind. I went to get my hair cut and my eyebrows done, and the woman completely hacked me. This is the day before I'm going to travel, which that took a huge amount of energy because I'm still sick. I mean, one eyebrow was tiny, the other one was crooked. My hair, I don't even know what she thought she was doing, and I didn't see it. I tipped her well. I didn't see it until later, and I started freaking out, and then everything crashed down on me where I was no longer the functional leader of the family. I've always been the one who makes everything happen, and I had to completely surrender that. The way we had set up the memorial service, my oldest daughter said she wanted to do the eulogy, and then from there to make sure nobody, because I have brothers, but they are not equipped to participate in anything like that. So I said, well, let's have the grandchildren lead. And so once I got there, I didn't really have anything else to do, but I couldn't think. I couldn't, as my grandson once said when he was 3, I can't know that. What can't you know? That. I said, well, what is that? Can't know it. And that's how I felt. I couldn't know anything. I was anxious. I mean, it was everything that was lying beneath me, underneath all the progress, all the light, all the intuitive gifts, everything that makes me be who I am was taken and set to the side by the divine so that all this other crud that was still in there could come out. And I spent, again, more and more days. I mean, our flight home got canceled. I was challenged on every level to surrender and release and allow. And I did that. And it was really, really hard. And you don't have to do it that way. You don't have to take on the pain, dysfunction, and dis-ease and illness of your lineage or those that you are around now, and yet that's so easy. I was not doing this. All started, right, because I didn't think I would be sad when my dad passed, and I also didn't intentionally take on my grandson's illness, and yet here we are. So then you fast forward to the last couple of days where I actually felt, oh, I'm back in my life. I'm back in my body. And that's when I realized the divine had literally lifted me out of my body so that my body could purge and cleanse and all that stuff, that anxiety and the fear and the I've lost it, it's not going to happen, all the stuff that I felt moving into this when I was 53 and said I can't do this anymore. I thought all of it was done, and the divine invited me to take that deeper dive, laid me flat, and said, now let us work with you. And so then we come to this morning, and I'm starting now to get these chills, where I have my morning daily practice, and I was going to do it, and they said, no, get up and go outside and water. And as I was watering, which is very restorative to me, I began doing my energy exercises, and that's when they told me to do this opening sacred circle, and they also told me that they had a message that they wanted me to give this group and that I should pull cards. I don't really use cards much anymore. I just have a direct knowing when I do readings and when I do the other sessions. If someone wants cards, I'm happy to use them, but I don't. So if I may share the message that the divine has for everyone who is here, again, whether live or on the replay, you guys are the ones that the divine is talking to and wants you to know. The first card is abundance. And the message that came along with that was that you must open to receive. If you are not ready, willing, and able to receive, then no matter how much abundance you actually do have, and we're speaking of abundance on all levels, health, wealth, happiness, relationships, the whole nine, whatever these expressions are, the whole game, you have to be willing to receive, and that means you have to be willing to let go. As I was shown and guided during this illness, all the places and spaces and ways that I was still holding dark, heavy density that came from myself, my past lives, both my sides of my lineage, things that needed to be released and let go to clear the space to receive the abundance. The second card was dreams. And the message that accompanies that is use your dream time, which is a version of my sickness was a version of that, dream time, to receive what needs to be released, where you're still holding that you may not be conscious of, and use that dream state to also receive the up-leveling, the knowing, the vision, and believe what you see, whether you journal about it, which would be a very good thing because we always think we're going to remember or not. Consciously, as you begin to go to bed, find the question that is most strong on your heart, that reflects what do I need to know, what can you show me, bring it to me during my dream state. And then receive and allow what comes through. The third card is self-acceptance. And of course, that's how you get there. As in my last few weeks, I had to accept I am a human being and I am grieving for the loss of my physical father, no matter how grateful I am that he crossed over. I could not be more happy that he's gone, and yet I needed to accept that as a human being, that is a difficult thing and it's going to take me some time. And that self-acceptance of wherever you are is also related and key to receiving your dreams, and that now in the greater form of that vision of what more, that sense of what more is coming, is possible, is longing to be born through you, and the abundance that is your birthright, all of that stems from self-acceptance. And then what is the fourth card? Forgiveness. Forgive yourself for everything that you are holding against yourself. I didn't do it fast enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve. My father came to me when I was working with him soul to soul in meditation a good 6 to 8 months before he died. And I said, Dad, why are you still here? I need to pay. I need to suffer. I said, for what? I've caused so much trouble. I thought he was talking about the last 6 years with all the care he's required. No. He was in an accident. He was hit by a car when he ran in the street to run to greet his father when he was 4. That's what he was for 80 years. He was holding that.
Wow.
Forgive yourself for whatever you're holding, whether it's from this life, a past life, whether it's something you've done. Forgive everyone and allow the knowing that we are all here on a journey to release, to cleanse, to clear, to open, and everyone is doing the best they can, even if it's not good enough. It's okay. And then after, and this is also very significant, as I told Cari, I don't pull 4 cards, but that's what they wanted. The 4 corners, okay? The 4 corners of your
divinely
home,
perfect,
4 corners,
isn't it?
Right. And so they gave me an equation for each and every one of you to apply in your daily practice and in whatever way serves you. And the equation is presence plus gratitude equals grace. Now the presence is present to the moment, present to yourself, present to source, present to the oneness of all that is and your connection. That's why we did the sacred circle, to bring us all into that state of presence, and then being gratitude, extending gratitude for everything. In between my sickness, in between my mantras that I was saying all during the worst part of the sickness, which was I am that I am, radiant, vibrant health, was the main one that I was running. I was alternately saying, thank you, thank you. I didn't mean it when I started saying it. I really didn't. I was angry. I was like, look, this is really inconvenient here. I've got work to do. I've got to travel. I can't do this. But still I knew gratitude. So I stayed present to all that is, to myself. I extended gratitude even to this horrible hacking cough and the fever and everything else. And through that process, I did move into a state of grace where I had this experience this morning for all of you. All of my abilities are so heightened. I know what I've been noticing. Not every time it would be too distracting, but the last few days, I know the next word that's going to come out of someone's mouth. I can smell things that I don't even know where they're coming from, but they're, then I get closer and I'm like, oh, that's where that smell is, but I shouldn't have been able to smell it. My senses are all extraordinarily heightened, as are my gifts. My intuitive gifts are very expanded right now because of the way that the divine showed me through this illness and my father's passing, this new equation that presence plus gratitude equals grace. So I encourage each of you to take this message in, right? Isn't it? And it's so simple. So simple. So
well, that's what works. Simplicity works. And I love everything that you're saying. I think that everybody can relate. And from what I'm hearing, it's sort of like we all hold this density, whether we realize it or not. And then as we clear that space within us, with gratitude, with grace, we can receive the up-leveling that we're designed to receive and experience. And for you, what's beautiful is the timing is so wonderful that all the people that you're going to connect with from the show, everything has been heightened for you to be able to support them in even greater ways than, last time you were here on the show, which is divinely perfect and divine. I mean, not only for you and your journey, but for everyone that you touch and connect with. So, and everything, and as we talked about, Mercury is direct again. Everything's is flowing again, which is also really, really wonderful. And, Beth, I want to talk about, for those who may not have been with us last time you were on the show or may not be familiar with you, as I mentioned in your bio, you were an attorney for 30 years. I mean, you were a prosecutor.
That's really weird to me when I hear you say that.
It was a totally different world.
Yes.
I mean, you really made a jump, a leap into energy healing and on all of this. I know that was in 2011, so it's been a little while now, but tell people what you feel is important to share with regard to, there are a lot of people who listen to this show that feel there's something bigger, there's something greater spiritually that perhaps they should be doing or that they're being called to do. How that shift was for you, and then how did you open yourself up to even more and more divine support to be where you're at?
So I think the biggest block to me moving forward, even though I was being called for several years before I stopped practicing law, was I was so in my left brain, my masculine, that there had to be a plan. I had to see it. I had to be able to map it out. I had to know it and have that analytical, intellectual understanding of how this was going to work before I was willing to do it. And it wasn't happening because I didn't want to practice law. I did look into, I wanted to live in California. I had, since my first daughter was late 70s was when my best friend from high school moved out here. And I told her and her husband then, in 2 to 5 years, I'll be there. And when I came out here, Cork, God rest his soul, who passed away from lung cancer a year ago, there again with the lungs, the first thing he said to me was, well, you're only 25 years too late. I said, what do you mean? Later, not too late, late. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, you said you'd be here in 2 to 5 years, but it's been 30 years. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even realize. And in that time, both my daughters had moved out here. My grandsons were out here. I have a big family in Chicago, but I woke up one day and was like, what is happening? I raised my children that we're going to move to California, and I'm still here. And that's when I began understanding the box that the practice of law put me in and the fear of the walls of that box that kept me stuck because I thought I needed to see the way. And then I did still make a plan once I mustered my courage and said I can't keep. Actually, what happened was I heard a voice that said, after I woke up, passed out on my couch on a weeknight, having gotten drunk at home, and the voice said, you will not survive if you continue doing this. And I was like, what you talking about? Looking around, and I'd heard these voices before, but I still got surprised because it was like, wait a minute. And then I started talking to the voice and like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do? Move. Okay, and then that was it, though. It kept on for a time. And so then I made this plan. Okay, I'm going to be a personal assistant because I can't practice law, especially. I might have considered transitionally doing something out here, but you can't practice law in California without taking the bar, and I was absolutely not going to take a bar exam to do something I don't want to do. Thank goodness they have that here in California, or I might not be talking to you right now. I might be in some office or courtroom. So I decided I'll be a personal assistant because that really pulled together all my skills. As I looked at it, I thought, well, it's like being a paid wife. I can run somebody's life. I couldn't run my own very well, but I'm real good at running other people's. Had a friend who was a high-end personal assistant, and she put me in touch with this boutique guy who was, charged $25,000 to people to place personal assistants. And he said, why do you want to be here? You need to be passionate to be in California. And I told him, he said, okay, so you got the passion. But here's the thing, right at that time, the real estate market crashed. And he said people out here that used to have personal assistants are personal assistants. No one is going to pay me $25,000 for a career transplant. So you better come on out here and check Craigslist. I was like, womp, womp. Craigslist? I'm 53 years old and I'm an attorney. I'm not checking Craigslist. But I kept one foot in front of the other and thought, okay, I'll go out there. I'll do what he said. I'll sell my condo. I'll use that money to get me going. Short sale, because the market was crashing. I said, okay, the voices still kept coming. It's all right. Trust. Make the move. Go. And then, long story short, my daughter, the mother of the twins, said, are you sure this is what you want to do? And are you sure you're just going to, I mean, I was just going. I'm like, I'm just going to come, and I've got a lot of credit because when I had my own practice, I had gotten a lot of credit to fund the medical malpractice cases. You have to pay the expert to find out if you have a case. So I had, $150,000 worth of credit. And this was my new plan. I'll live off my credit until I figure out what I'm doing. But it was those nudges from the divine that kept me going and saying something's it's all going to be all right. So my daughter was getting a new job. Their nanny was not working out. She said, do you want to take care of the twins? And it was a very interesting, challenging, and wondrous idea because I was not a stay-at-home mother. I always went to school and worked while I was raising my children, and yet my life was living, there was a part of me that was living through the experience of being with these two little boys. And parenthetically, many years ago, while I was still practicing law, my next-door neighbor said, I can read palms. She was Polish from Poland. And I said, did you take a class? No, it's something my family does back in Poland. Let me see your palm. And this would have been probably 25 years ago. And she said, there are 2 more children, boys, coming. I said, I am done. My youngest was 5 at the time. I'm not having any more children. Yeah, you are. They might not be yours, but they're of you. I said, what do you mean they're of me? There's 2 boys coming to you, of you, who are going to change your life. I just remembered that right this moment, and I'm getting full body chills. I kind of like, okay, honey, you're crazy, whatever. And then here come these 2 little boys that I'm taking care of, and the same one whose sickness I accidentally took one day said, I was very upset because it's like wrangling and herding wild cats to get them ready. They were 3, and we were meeting the neighbors to go do whatever one does with 3-year-olds, and we were going to be late because they wouldn't get dressed. And Quincy was up on top of the couch, standing there with his underwear on his head and his sock in his hand, whipping it across the room, and I'm losing it because they're not. I still had a list. I still had a plan every day. I'm still running my law practice with these little boys. And I said, if we don't get going, we're not going to make it. And he stopped and looked at me and said, where are we going? And I told him, and I said, and again, we're not going to make it if we don't get going. He leaned forward and caught my eyes and said, well, while we get going, can we look in the dirt? And I wanted to scream, but I controlled myself because it's, 7:30 in the morning. I got 12 hours with these guys. I can't go off on them yet. And I said, why do you want to look at the dirt? And his brother, who is very funny, said, because he's dirty, because he's always dirty, and he just loves being dirty. And he looked at him, never speaking, just looked at him like, you know better, and looked back at me and leaned forward even closer and said, there's treasure in the dirt. And I got chills. All right, get dressed. Let's go. I forgot about the agenda. I forgot about we're going to be late. We're not going to make it. We went outside. We looked in the dirt. Again, I'm having massive chills right now. And he showed me the treasure in the dirt and I totally forgot about the time. I was completely present to the moment, and the neighbors found us, and we spent a good hour and a half, all of us, looking at the treasure in the dirt. And that moment shifted everything for me, and I said, this kid's on to something. Now, I'd always been a spiritual person, always seeking. I did hear voices. I did have knowings. I didn't work with them. I didn't know how to do that, even though there was stuff all around me all my life that I could have tapped into, but I wasn't ready. Hence the forgiveness card, everybody, and the self-acceptance. I wasn't ready till I was 53, And then I began listening to shows like this and studying and enrolling in programs and spending money I didn't have to get training to understand. And then here I am. Here I am. And one foot in
well, I'm
front of
grateful
the
you're
other.
Here.
Thank you. I am too. I mean, every one of you has more gifts. No matter what you're already doing, you have more gifts to tap into and to share and to shine. And this is the time right now. We're all being up-leveled with these new higher dimensional energies so that we can save the planet and move ourselves higher and forward into what more wants to come through us. So hear that call. Do the work. Step out of the box. The fear is not real. The walls are not real. I came out here and everything happened. Now, yes, I did a lot of work. I committed to creating. I was introduced to meditation when I was a teenager, and I didn't start meditating regularly until 5 years ago. Again, I forgive myself, and I accept that I wasn't ready for that. You couldn't stop me from meditating every day. It's the greatest high I've ever had in my life. But I had to get there. I had to get there. So that's my condensed one view version of how I got here out of the law. And lately, I don't know.
And I'm grateful that you followed that. Yeah. Because you're giving others. Sometimes we need to give ourselves permission to forgive ourselves for not doing something sooner, or not thinking that it's too late to do something different, or anything like that. And what's fascinating to me is when you were here last time, I mean, people just loved you, Beth. And I know even just from the comments I'm reading in our webcast today, they love you. They love your laugh. They love your openness. And you really inspire people, Beth. I mean, you really do. And what's curious, what I want to ask you about is, there's a big focus on abundance that you really highlight in your work with people. It's the divine coming through and supporting people and opening up to a new state of abundance. When did you realize that was going to be sort of a highlight or a focus of the work that you're doing, bringing in the divine to support that?
When I moved into the house I live in, I had previously been living with my daughter and her kids. She had separated from her husband and asked me to move with her. And I did that for 2 years. And then 3 years ago, and I had started, I was casually beginning to do this work as a business, but it was very casual. And it was mostly just readings with cards. And then it came time for me to move. And so now I've got to really get serious here. And I was scared to death. How am I going to pay for this house? How am I going to pay for my life? Blah, 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 blah. And Archangel Michael said, "You're going to teach abundance." I'm like, shut up. That's nuts. I'm not abundant. I don't even know how I'm going to pay for this house I'm moving into. And he said, "Oh, but you will." And from there, I began opening to an understanding of what was blocking me from being abundant. And the truth is, I have always been abundant, and it's always worked out, and more has always shown up, and the money has come from wherever it is. But I was resisting. I was holding that space that I'm not good enough. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to get it right. It's all going to fall apart. Even every time I get money, then I get more debt. Then I get money, then I get more. I was running all these stories and programs that needed to be exposed. And in that exposing, in that acceptance of myself, in that forgiving myself for whatever I thought I had done, I began to see that I had always been abundant, but I resisted it. And I pushed it away, and I let those walls of fear around me lock me in. So that, of course, when you're running the story, that every time, $30,000 was the debt level that kept coming back. I'd pay it off, then it would come back. And I started noticing that probably 15, 20 years ago, and that's very interesting. And then in that last, 4 years ago, right before I moved, when working with Archangel Michael became a daily thing and really expansive, and he just became he was my BFF, and he showed me the way and then from there they began giving me the Fibonacci stuff for the exponential expansion of abundance, which again I was like, are you nuts? I'm not math. I'm not that person. And yet it all made sense to me instantly. When he flashed all those numbers in front of my face, I knew it was the Fibonacci sequence. I didn't know how I knew that. I did some research. That's the thing, people. You can know something, and then if your mental mind really needs to verify it, thank God for Google. Jump on it. Research what you just realized, and you're going to see that you're right. Because when the divine is coming through you with some information that it wants to be you to be the broadcaster of, it's not going to steer you wrong. So when I saw the numbers in the Fibonacci sequence that I didn't even understand, but they told me that's what it was, I looked it up, and sure enough, that's what it was. And now with this brain, I don't even know if I'm answering your question, but I'm going to finish this piece. The neural reprogramming of the brain. I was like, I am not a science person. Oh, yes, I am. It's all fascinating to me. It's just, this is the thing. If you suspend your limiting ideas and your fears, you don't have to give them up completely right off. Let them go a little bit and say, okay, what do you got for me? Bring it. And then accept what the divine shows you. Accept it. That is going to really move you forward. When I thought my mojo was shut down a couple weeks ago, I was devastated. And at the same time, I thought, I knew, let this happen. Allow it. Let yourself feel this, because you know it's not true. And I always knew it wasn't true, but I was grieving. I was scared. I was just devastated. It's gone. What if it doesn't turn back on? You know that's not true. You get to the place when you do your work to gain that confidence that abundance is your birthright. The divine is not going to take away the abundance of my intuitive gifts, nor is the divine going to take away the abundance of happiness, of love, of light, of prosperity that we are all meant to have. However, the divine can't give you what you won't receive. You will never make it to the party if you don't accept the invitation. And I, right here, right now, in company with my dear friend Cari, invite you all to step up to the party of abundance and just shake the It's a pretty fun party, isn't it? I know you just moved.
Oh, I love it.
And
yes.
I look at those pictures on Facebook, and I feel the abundance and the prosperity and the joy flowing in your new location.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, right?
I literally
abundance.
live all of this. I embody everything we talk about on this show works. I have been embodying these teachings that, that I talk about and that others talk about, and they work. And for those of you who follow me on social media, you do know, and I've talked about it, I just moved. I'm on the water. I'm doing everything that makes me happy and joyful, and I'm in a pure state of abundance. And but I love what you said about kind of surrendering to those moments and times when we're not sure what's going on, but what's really happening is we're releasing the density that is clearing the space for more abundance, whether it's an abundance of money, an abundance of happiness, of support, of inspiration, of creativity, all of those things. Oftentimes we have to go into those spaces like you just went in, where there is a release of all that density to clear more space to allow for more. And what I learned is what you've learned is kind of surrender to those moments and not get fearful of them, because it's kind of an up-leveling process that takes us to a new stage, a new playing field, a new energetic playing field where things will get better. But sometimes it takes a little of that to get to the next part of the journey. And it's so perfect that you're here, right after that. And I love that we're talking about it, Beth, because sometimes people think that in our position or whatever, we don't go through those things, and it's a part of the journey, no matter who we are or what we're doing, or, there are always going to be these stages and phases of expansion. So,
right.
But I love that we finally brought up our topic title for today, which was resetting our neural pathways to flow with abundance.
I loved it. It only took us an hour to get there.
It only took us 51 minutes, but we're there.
Perfect.
No, but
Divine
everything we've been talking about
timing,
it's all related. It's all the same. It's all about energy, and what we've been talking about supports all of this. So, but I want to take callers. I know that we have had so many hands up, Beth, since before the show started, actually, because you are going to connect with our callers and really help them realize what's in their way. And the way that we're going to do this is we're going to have one question just to kind of keep this simple. Beth, what is the question that they should be asking you when we take callers?
I don't remember the
Do you remember?
exact word.
Okay. Let me find it.
Where's my biggest block to something, to abundance? I can't know that right now.
Yeah.
I'm so out. I can see so many.
Oh, here it is.
People.
I found it. What area most needs flushing? Flushing. What area in my life most needs flushing so that I can open up to receive and manifest abundance? So write that down if you've raised your hand, because that's the question that I want you to ask Beth, and which Beth wants you to ask Beth, so that her divine support team and will be able to support you easiest and best. So what area most needs flushing so I can open up to receive and manifest abundance? And we did this last time, I think, Beth, from my recollection, I believe we did. Oh my God, it was so fun, and you were so awesome. So do you need to do anything, to prepare, or do we need to shift gears at all before we do this,
Nope.
or do you want to do a?
That's why I didn't know.
No?
That's
Okay.
why I didn't know the question, because I was already getting ready, as you said. You were going to start the.
I didn't either. I lost.
That's why I don't know the question. I know the answer. I don't know the question.
You're going to know the answer. Okay, so let's do some flushing here, and I love the word. So okay, so again, if you called in by phone, press *2 to raise your hand to let me know that you want me to consider selecting you for this. And remember the question, please. Okay, Beth, here we go. Excuse me. Our first caller that I'm going to is area code 480. 480. You are.
Hello?
Hi.
I hear
Hi,
you
my name
saying,
is...
hi.
What's your name?
Carol.
Carol.
Oh, hi, Carol. Welcome to the
Hi.
call today. Hi. So I'd love to hear you ask the question to Beth so she can hear your voice. And
Okay, so what area of my life needs most flushing so I can open up to more abundance?
So, Carol, when I look at your field, your energetic field, there's a beautiful heart it's almost like an aura around but it's only half. It's around the left side. It comes up through the middle of your body and extends up over and to the right, and then the other side, your right side of your body, is not flowing the rest of this heart. And the right side is the divine intuitive. So this suggests to me that you're too reliant, as I expressed when Cari and I were talking, that when I was making my transition from the practice of law to move out here and then begin doing this work, I was really scared because I didn't have a plan. I couldn't see the way. I needed to know the how. You don't need to know the how. You need to follow the intuition and allow the divine to come in and give you the information that you need about where your next steps are best taken for you to open to greater abundance. And so in your daily practice, if you don't have one, get one. In your meditation time in silence and stillness, walking in nature, I want you to imagine that heart on the left side and then flow it. Just visualize flowing it to make the heart full. and then let the energy run from the outer limits of that heart all the way around until it becomes strong and potent and can fill it in. And then you can begin expanding it out. And that heart light that you'll be expanding out evenly and in balance on both the left and the right side, the masculine, feminine, the divine, and the mental mind. We need both, but the heart needs to lead and the mind will serve. The more that you begin to flow this energy in balance, the more you will attract and be able to receive abundance, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Oh, thank you, Carol. Was it Carol? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
You too, Carol. Okay. I'm going to just kind of keep going here. I'm going to area code 530. 530.
Hi, my name's Monica, and I'd like to know. Hi, I'd like to know. Hi, I'd like to know what area of my life has the biggest block that needs the most flushing, so I can be open to receive and manifest abundance.
Okay. And
Beautiful, Monica.
As I'm receiving this question, I just want to clarify for you, Monica, and for everyone that the area of life is really the area of your energetic field. So for some reason for you, that is important for you to hear that it's not at work or at home or where I live. Those areas of life like that, they're not the issue. It's internally. So what I see is that right at the center of your heart space, there's a little, maybe like a large marble that is connected to spokes of a wheel, and it's just running. It's almost like a hamster wheel in terms of it's running and running and running and running, and it's not allowing the energy within you to flow in a way that serves you to be able to see, sense, feel, and know what is right for you to do, what is in your highest interest to do to open to more abundance. So that needs to be removed and released. It's a very old pattern that is coming from past lives where you have the sensation and you're receiving the message that you just have to keep working, going, and that's not going to get you where you want. Does this make sense to you?
Yes.
And so surrender that.
All right, I will clear that. I can clear it.
And actually just ask the hands of your higher self to come in and grab that marble and the spokes of that wheel out, drop them down into the vortex. We'll use the vortex. You can do this when we do the Sacred 8 flush.
Okay.
Use the vortex to send it out and down, and then work with your mental mind, ideas, stories, patterns, paradigms. You don't need to work so hard. That's not going to get you where you want to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Much love to you, my dear.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you.
Sending you so much love. Oh, Monica. Okay. Blessings to you, my dear. Okay.
And
as
Cari,
Beth just mentioned,
for everyone listening, I just want you guys to know what Cari said earlier, you hear about our stuff and lets you know that, hey, I'm okay, because even though the people I'm listening to, the woman who has this fabulous show, she has her stuff. As soon as I heard her Monica tear up, I thought, who do you think you are saying these things? That's how deep this stuff goes. So everybody know, if you're having these little resistances, it's okay. You're right where you need to break down is break through. Let it go.
It's so okay. Yes. It's so, I have chills. Yeah. Yes. It's so okay. And we're all going through it. And
we are.
I just wanted to highlight what you said, that you're going to be doing this Sacred 8 energy flush for the group. And so wanted to highlight that. I want to take a couple of there's so many people who wrote it into the webcast, and then we'll take a few more live callers, but I want to go back and forth a little bit. Okay. For those of you who wrote in like a long time ago, I don't know if you're still there, so write in again and let me know you're still here. But so I'm going to go to the top of the list here. Elizabeth from Orlando, what area needs flushing to receive abundance now? Thank you, many blessings. Elizabeth from Orlando.
Hi, Elizabeth from Orlando. I am Beth from California, from Pasadena. I don't know why. Anyway, nice to meet you. Yes. So for you, your field is divided into quadrants, and this is true for a lot of people on this call. And so with each caller, because obviously we don't have the time, and I couldn't know that. To do everyone, it would be too much. My head would explode. But feel into what each caller is being told, because it will apply. Everyone that gets called on is a surrogate, in a sense, for the group. That's why we brought the light in and created the sacred circle, because there's so many of you that this applies to, as it does Elizabeth from Orlando. It's like there's a cross going through your entire body and field that's dividing up those four quadrants. Again, that number 4 coming up. And you need to integrate those by removing that box, sort of. It's the inner box, like the divider. You want to remove that. And again, you can use the Sacred 8 flush process to do that in order to allow all 4 sections of your system, of your field, of your body to flow. So this will increase your health, your prosperity, your relationships, your spiritual connection to your gifts, all of this if you remove this divider and flow as one. Boom, boom, boom. That's it.
Boom. Okay. Flush. Okay. I feel like it is important that perhaps you do the Sacred 8 energy flush, because you've brought it up a couple times and people may be wondering what it is and how do they apply it. Are you open to doing that now before we talk to anybody else?
Yeah, and thanks for being in tune with that, because I can feel that that's right on, so thank you. Okay, so everybody just take a deep breath in and let everything go on the exhale. All the talk, all the thoughts, all the ideas, and just bring yourself into the present moment. And we are now going to do the Sacred 8 energy flush. So to begin, bring your attention to your third eye, that point between your eyebrows. Drop it down to your heart space and step inside your heart. From that center point of your heart space, you're going to imagine a brilliant diamond white light flowing up through your throat, warming, cleansing, clearing as it goes through your third eye, out your crown, and you're going to send it way high up into the heavens to your divine star point, the star point that has your name on it. See, sense, feel, or just make it up. And then wrap your white light around that star, and do it a few times so that you're securely connected to that heavenly energy, and then run it all back down. See it re-enter your crown and flow to the center of your heart space. Now from that same center point, we're going to ground in with the earth. And though Mercury is direct today, so the energies are shifting, we're still going to really deeply ground in order for us to all have that support that we need. So imagine a gold grounding cord that extends about 6 inches beyond your physical body, beginning at that center point of your heart, and then send it down into the center of the earth, where you will see, sense, feel, or just imagine that there's a beautiful golden ball of grace light. This is the center of Mother Earth. It's her recycling plant, where all energy is released into this and transmuted for her healing. And she is graciously allowing us to ground into it for our own support. So lock your grounding cord into the gold ball and then wrap it around a few times so that you're really securely grounded. And then bring the grace light from that ball back up your cord and see it flow all the way back up to the center of your heart space where it meets that white light from above. Turn your attention to that convergence point and expand the gold and the white light out into a column that runs from that grounding point below to that expanding point above and extends about arm's distance around you. You're creating a column of stability and support, just feeling into how it feels to allow that divine energy from Mother Earth to flow up, in, through, and as you, all the way to the furthest reaches of the heavens, and then back down. Beautiful. Now turn your attention to that same center point of your heart and imagine pushing a button, the zero set point there, and expands out of that zero set point a beautiful sphere of grid lines filled with flowing golden grace light. It's expanding infinitely around you, this beautiful sphere. Take a moment to notice that you're the center of this golden grid of grace, that this is where you connect with your I am presence, your higher self, with all of your guides. This is where the juice is, right here. So now that we are connected, I want you to return your attention to your heart space and imagine that you are standing within your heart. Look deeper within, and you will see the tiny space of the heart, a portal, an opening, a pinpoint of light. However you see, sense, feel it, or just imagine it, I want you to pass through that portal onto the other side into your ascended high heart. And then to the right, there's a tube, much like an elevator, but it's a tube of light that's rushing up. Walk over to that tube, step inside, and allow yourself to be lifted up into that tube, all the way up to the 32nd dimension, where you will step out into the quantum field. You will see there before you an opening where there is white light swirling, creating a circle. Walk into that light and pause at the center. And now, from this place in the quantum field, you're going to create a vortex running counterclockwise to your left, and you're going to sink the narrow end of that vortex all the way down. Let it go all the way down into that gold ball at the center of Mother Earth. Activate the vacuum. This vortex vacuum will receive and draw out all the density, everything that you release. It will go straight down into that golden grace light ball, where it will be recycled and transmuted for Mother Earth's healing. So your release, remember this, your release and clearing is you being of service to the planet. So we'll just let that run. And now from above your head, there's a link, a chain link of sacred eights. They may appear to you in different ways. For some, you will just see the eights all linked together. For some, they will appear as light, some even flowers. They might be like a daisy chain. However it comes to you, I want you to allow this sacred eight link to drop into your crown. And as it is entered into your head, it begins to turn to the right. As it is moving, these sacred eight links are moving to the right. They're drawing out, cleansing, and removing everything that does not fit with the truth and light of you. And we're going to let it run for a moment here in your head so that the pathways in your brain can really be flushed out with this sacred eight. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. And now let the link continue down through your throat, pausing there as the clockwise motion to the right continues, drawing out any untruths that you are holding about yourself, any fears about speaking the truth in light of you. And here, mine are coming up as a surrogate for you, and I have the need to cough. If any of that is true for you, then cough, lean forward, and let that go into the vortex. Beautiful, beautiful. And as we move the link down, we're going to continue down now to the heart space. Anything that you feel at any point needing to be released, whether it's those dividers that we've seen, the wheel, any blocks, any density, let the sacred eight do its work and pull it out and release it down into the vortex, whether it comes out in front of you or down through your root or your feet. There you go. There you go. Let it go. Let the sacred eight flush, clear and cleanse the heart space. Now you're remembering, you're drawing in the links. So the ones above are still running as we allow more to come deeper, to move into the power center, letting it turn and rotate. It's wanting to move a little bit faster now to really draw out all that obstructs you standing in the power of you. Very good. Excellent, excellent. Now let the link come down further into your sacral chakra and let it really rev up here so that it removes all that opposes you, feeling the passion and the joy and delight of life, the pleasure and the creativity and inspiration that wants to be born through joy and happiness through you. Everything that is not that is being flushed out. Wonderful, wonderful. Now let it drop down to your root chakra and open that center, that energy center, so that you may, with ease and grace, remain grounded as you move through each and every day, as you move through the process of breakdown is breakthrough, to open to what more is possible. And now just allow, as if the hands of your higher self are pulling the links through you and out, just allow it to just pop right out, and the entire link comes out. Let it go down into the vortex vacuum. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, lean forward and let everything go that is not the truth and light of you. And now to fill that space that we've created with the sacred eight flush from above your head, see a beautiful yellow sun, and allow the rays of that divine sun to flow swiftly down through your body, filling your entire body with this gorgeous divine sunlight until it is so full of this beautiful light that it flows out and over into your auric field, filling it with this magnificent light that is actually the truth of you, my beautiful beings. Take a moment now to look above the right side of your head to the inner bounds of your auric field. There's a light switch. Flip that on, and it turns the outer bounds, the light that illuminates the outer bounds of your aura on, and you are ever more bountiful, beautiful, and brilliant. The light is amazing. Turn to the outside of your auric field and imagine placing hundreds of tiny little mirror tiles like on a disco ball all over. Just see, hear, sense, and feel them all being applied now, so that anyone's energy that comes towards you is reflected back to them and does not enter your newly pristine and up-leveled field. And yet from the gaps between the tiles, your light shines out and can be seen. You can make all the connections that are in your highest interest. You can move forward with ease and grace from this protected sacred state. One last time, breath in. Exhale any last vestiges of anything that wants to release down into the vortex. and shut the vortex down and let it collapse into that gold ball, honoring yourself for your service here today to the earth, to her healing. And then slowly open your eyes and come all the way back to now, right here, right now, with me. Make sure to drink a lot of water over the next few days as the shifts and changes and energetic up-leveling is integrated into your body. Yes, as the further flushing continues. It will continue.
It will. Definitely.
And you can use this process to use that on the replay again and again as often as you need and target the different areas.
That was incredible.
Yeah. Oh, good. It was different.
Yes, continued up-leveling.
Yes.
And I'm feeling a lot of clearing my throat.
Right? It was only originally going to be in the head, but they said, no, keep going. And again, that's why this is so sacred, because the way that the divine came in this morning to me and the way we created the sacred circle, they expanded the work because you all were ready to receive it. So know that about yourself. You are ready. It's why you're here. It's why you're listening. So own that readiness and accept that about yourself. You are ready to receive your dreams and abundance. You are. You can keep fighting it, but why? Absolutely. Why would you? You can live by the water
anymore.
With Cari, too.
Well, and I really do feel us all in this sacred circle together, and it really, we support one another in giving ourselves permission to let go of all of that crap and really just receive. And I hope that everyone feels the support of this community because, we're all here together and we're all doing this together, and it gives us strength and it gives us confidence and clarity and courage to do all of this and to really step into the quantum field where you took us. And I love all of that we did. I mean, that was incredible. Vacuuming out all the density to be recycled and then, just fleshing us so that we're open and we're brilliant and bright. And that was awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Beth.
You're welcome.
That was beautiful.
I think I already lost it, but you just gave another 4 pillars to your community. Courage, confidence, clarity, and what was the 4th one? You just said that, and I didn't write it down. Grace. Everybody use those words of Cari to create those pillars around yourself, pillars of light running from below to above around your house, in your car, in your workspace, wherever. Courage, confidence, clarity, and grace. Every day I set my field in my house, and I do it at night too, and I allow the divine to tell me what each pillar in the corners of my property need to be. So for everyone here today, full body chills, courage, confidence, clarity, and grace. These are the 4 pillars for today and for the next 7 to 10 days. Set those pillars that Cari just brought through around you every day, and it's going to really expand the work that we've done with the Sacred 8 Flush and the Sacred Healing Circle that we created. Powerful, Cari!
Yes, that intention and to do that. And, the word mantra is coming out in my mind right now because you use them so much, and I do too, Beth. Mantras are my best friend every day. It's the way that I have reset the neural pathways in my brain for abundance. And it's been a practice of mine for many years. And the words that just came through as we were both just talking about the courage and the confidence and the clarity and the grace, all of that, as these become running mantras in your mind, that is what creates and resets these new pathways that allow for the receiving of opportunities and abundance and support and love and everything beautiful that you deserve. So the time has gone by so quickly, Beth. we have to talk about your offer because
I thought we were going to take some more callers. I totally forgot about the offer.
We are.
Okay.
I do want to take another caller or two, but I do want to highlight what you created because we're talking about the resetting of the neural pathways, and you created 2 offers for our beautiful community here. The first one is all about that. And for those of you who may not know, you can find these offers at straighttalkforthesoul.com. Click on the marketplace or just /marketplace, and you'll see Beth's smiling face. And click on her picture, and it'll take you right there. You look so bright and happy and joyful in that picture, Beth. Radiant and beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, so special offer A, Beth, is yes, please receive that. Take a moment and receive that. And there is a lot here, and I don't want to go and I don't want to take up all of our time and describe every detail because people can read it. But how can you summarize what's in Offer A? Offer B is all of Offer A plus a private session with you, which I highly recommend. But in Offer A, Beth, I don't know if you have it in front of you. If not, let me know and I could kind of go through it to let people know what's in it.
I think the best way to wrap it up, because you're right, Cari, people can read what the specifics are. The point of getting the whole ball of wax and the private session and the 2-part workshop, one is a teaching course and the other is a quantum energy lab where, as a group, we are all on the line, much like we are now, except when we do the Q&A, it's very similar to that, but you get to ask whatever you want. And the whole package is designed, you have the private session so that you get the work and the opening and the up-leveling that you personally need. Then we do the teaching class, so you get the ideas of how to shift and change your brain. What are the fundamentals of the way the brain works and how you can reset your neural pathways so that they flow in the matrix of abundance. We've done the flushing part today with the Sacred 8, and then we need to do the reset part and give you the tools, the mantras, as Cari talked about, the activations that are included with the Fibonacci series, as well as the monthly energy healing calls, which those 3 calls are they're just about an hour. Some have a little bit of teaching if that's what I was guided to do, and then it's energy work. So you see, you're getting the support on all those levels, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, so that your body and your mind can work together in opening and receiving. That's why the whole package, including the private session, is really the most effective. You get the one-on-one work, you get the teaching, and then you get that wrap-up of the Q&A in the Quantum Energy Lab. And then you have all these other materials to support your shifts because, as we've talked about here today, Cari, we haven't said it this way, but this is what we've been saying. There's no magic bean. During my seeking period, I looked for the key, the point, the answer. The answer is you. And it's your daily practice and the way you think, the thoughts you flow, what you're attracting energetically. And when you put this entire package together, if I may say so myself, it gives you everything you need to move forward and support yourself to make these greater shifts and changes. I mean, we're never done. There's always more. But this package has really got a lot of boom in it for you to for you to just do what you need to do. I mean, how many packages, how many products do you buy and you never use them? Okay, that's not going to work. There's no magic bean. But if you use the stuff that's in this package, you're going to have shifts and changes, guaranteed. I can't tell you what or how because that's on you, what you're willing to receive. What are you willing to let go of? But this package gives you all the tools to make those shifts and changes and to reset those neural pathways in your brain to flow at the level of abundance, the abundance of your dreams and of what else is out there. Where is your home on the water? Bring it to you. This package will help you with that. That's what I have to say about it.
I love what you had to say about it. And it is, we're talking about abundance and reception and being in a receptive mode. And part of that is being open to receive support. And I love that you highlighted the combination of what you're offering is really vital. And because when you have a private session, you get the personal time with you. And then you have the group stuff, but then you have all of this stuff that you can work on your own. And it does, it is really imperative to have all of that because, that's part of receiving support. And then, like Beth said, it's really up to you, how open you become with regard to what you're able to receive and open up into and let flow into your life. But hopefully those of you who are resonating with this will open up to receive this support and connect with Beth. Clearly it's a lot of fun to work with Beth as well, which is a highlight. You're not a healer that is, just so serious and like, oh my God, I got to go talk to Beth today. No, you're going to have fun talking to Beth.
I know, remember that on those days when I feel dark and heavy, I'm going to hear your voice saying, I got to go talk to Beth.
Yes. Well, and your laughter is so beautiful and so healing, and it inspires people, Beth, and there's a lot of people who have written in saying that, so I want to highlight that again for you. So
thank you. Because,
okay,
I used to
my
think
dear.
my laugh sounded bad.
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't laugh. I used to think my laugh sounded bad. I thought my voice sounded bad. I thought my laugh was stupid, and I would put my hand over my mouth and just, Now I'm like, what?
And look
this
at you
is
now.
joy, baby. This is me.
I get it. I laugh very easily, openly, and without hesitation. And people who listen to this show know that. So it's so healing. It moves energy. Laughter moves energy, and that's what we like to do to clear all these pathways. So I know we said we would take a couple more callers, so I want to honor that, Beth, and take a couple more callers. So those of you who still have your hand up, I'm heading that direction, so be prepared that I may be coming to you. So again, the question was, what area of my energetic field, and that's something that you refined, Beth, what area of my energetic field needs to be flushed so that I can receive abundance? So that's the question, and I'm going to go out there and talk to I'm going to area code 203. 203.
Hello.
You are live with that.
Hi, this is Lisa.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, Lisa.
How are
Hi,
you?
Lisa. Do you want to know why I feel? Lisa, it says clear channel. I was like, of course I'm going to go to the clear channel. I don't know if that's, anyway. Really, that's what it says your name is or where you're coming from. So
amazing. Are you a clear channel, Lisa?
It's actually the old name of the company I work for. So
I figured it was, but are you a clear channel, Lisa?
I guess I am now.
Yes, you are. Okay, so before you even ask the question, here is what I see, Miss Clear Channel, is that the light is coming down really like fierce, very strong, and then it stops right as you're at your crown, and it balls up there. So, Miss Clear Channel, be a clear channel and receive it. Just take a breath right now, everyone. Take a breath and receive the light from above that wants to flow through you. Let it come into your crown, and if you don't feel it, just imagine it, because it's happening whether you let your mental mind let you know or not. Let it flush all the way through you, and then let it flow out. Imagine that you can open the side channels, the horizontal channels of your heart space from your armpit down to your ribs, and let the light flow out. This, for some of you, will be white light. Some of it will be green. I see pink. I see blue. Whatever it is, let it go. Let it be how it is for you. And in this way, you are receiving that clear channel information through you and flowing it out into that stabilizing way, so you have the top, the bottom, and the side to side. And if you, Lisa, begin to allow this light to come in instead of stopping it at the top of your crown, it's really going to assist you and really let it sink into the brain, imagining the neural pathways being filled with the light, it's going to shift. It really, I mean, this is just the truth. It would be really good for you to get the package A that's the full thing because you're ready and you need a little guidance, as we all do. So I hope to see you on the other side.
Thank you.
When you do,
we didn't even let
when
you talk,
do,
Lisa.
you can say it's Lisa Clear Channel, and then I'll know who you are. That's amazing. You are a clear channel. Ooh, I'm getting full body chills. There is so much that the divine is wanting to bring forth through you.
I know. Thank you.
Good.
I'm glad you know. That's awesome.
Yes.
I do know.
You do know. Okay, Lisa, Clear Channel, Lisa. I'm so glad you were with us. I'm not going to
brand, girl, Clear Channel. No charge
for the
marketing advice.
Oh, God. Your laugh is so contagious. Oh, my gosh. Okay, Lisa, please keep us updated, and maybe if you are inspired to work with a beautiful Beth, that Clear Channel can open up even more. So thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to take one more caller, and let's see. I'm going to go to area code 817. 817, you're live.
Hello.
Hi.
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 Thank you so much. My name is Kim.
Hi, Kim. I'm Beth. Hi.
And hi, Beth.
And I'm Cari, Kim.
Nice to laugh.
Hi, Cari. So nice to be on the call. Thank you so much. So my question is, what area of my energetic field most needs flushing so that I can open to receive and manifest abundance in all areas with grace and ease?
Okay.
You did that so well, Kim. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, you really did. I really felt it. So I see a combination. It's really one thing, but it alternately looks like butterfly wings and your angel wings, and they're wrapped around you, tucked in the front. So right down your midpoint, these wings are coming from the back of you, and then they're tucked in. So you're conscious of the wings, the butterfly metamorphosis from the caterpillar to the butterfly. You're conscious that you're ready and wanting to open, and you are also have a somewhat of a sense of knowing of your angelic divine connections, your intuitive gifts, the grace, that light of you, but it doesn't feel good, so you've tucked them right in like if you've wrapped a shawl around you. Does this make sense to you?
Yes.
And you need to, right here, right now, put your hands in the center of your heart space, right at the breastbone. And for a lot of you, this is true too. Imagine that you can just close your eyes really quickly and imagine that you can lift those wings up and off. They're kind of sticky, so just lift them gently and then open your arms full out, let them go, and then give a little shake to your shoulders, your head, just letting it all go, and then imagine that you're letting those wings, those butterfly angel wings, flap so that you can begin, roll your shoulders back and forth. Just get some movement. For you, Lisa, and Kim, and Lisa, this is for you too. And for anyone who feels this, when you get off the call, if you're at all able, even if you're at work and you can put a headset in, listen to some music and do a little shimmy back and forth. If you can full out dance and shake loose those energetic wings, it's really going to feel delicious, and it's going to help you open to feeling confident to be the divine light that you are. Make sense?
Yes, thank you.
You go, girl.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Shake those wings, flap those wings.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for playing with us,
Thank
Kim.
you.
Yes,
thank you so much. Blessings to you all.
Kim.
Thank you.
Can we keep going for like the whole rest of the day, Cari? My head won't explode.
You are so fun. Oh my gosh. This is reminding me of last time you were here and we were like, oh my God, we have to do this again. We have to do this all the time. Remember that?
I do remember.
Yes.
I got to tell you, you are my favorite. Of all the hosts I've worked with, I probably shouldn't say that on an actual recording. No offense to the others, but there's just a light and a delight.
We're still
and
live.
A bond. Yeah, I'm like, sorry guys, but you got to go to Cari if you want to know how to do it because it's not work. It's just light. It's just beautiful. It's fun, and I'm so.
It is so much play and so much fun.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm so appreciative of you. You know, you just said that and it reminded me of something, Beth, that I thought of before we went live today. And, you know, we all have so many things going on and all this stuff. And, you know, one of the reasons I love doing this show, Beth, is because I get to work with people like you, first of all, and I love this community. But also because I come into it like, let's just have some fun. Like, this whole expansion ascension thing is not a serious game. I don't take myself seriously. I don't think it's like this serious thing. And I think if we can approach life that way, we can approach our ascension, our expansion, our abundance, everything from a space of fun and joy. And like, let's just play and have a good time. Oh my gosh, it just happens. And you, I mean, I so immediately connected with you because we bring that out in each other and it amplifies, and I hope that everyone else can feel that too. And that's where abundance can flow. When you're in that open, liberated space of just like whatever, like it's not that serious, you know. It's,
right.
That's when everything
and you know
that's
that
stuck
joy
and
that you're talking about
flows.
Yes, that joy and that openness, that the light, the laughter, that resets the neural pathways too. So even as we're playing, everything is shifting to the truth and light of us. And that's what you bring out in, that's why your community is so amazing too. Because those that are attracted to that are naturally attracted to opening to more light. So God bless you, Cari, for everything that you're doing and for who you are. I just love you so much, and I am so grateful for you.
I love you, too. I love what you just said to Kim about, like, letting our wings flap and, like, opening up and really just, like, shaking our shoulders, dancing, just kind of letting the energy flow, because then it opens you up into this space where everything's light again. You're not going to feel heavy and dense and, you know, and all of that. We want you to lighten up and let those wings flap, you know, shake loose the energetic wings, because we all have them. A lot of times they're just kind of, you know, they're like trapped and like, and we have to let them flap. Let them flap.
Yes, let them flap.
Your word. Just because, shake them loose. And oh my goodness, Beth, what an amazing way to end this season. It could not have been better, and there's no one else I would have rather done it with, and it just worked out perfectly. And you'll come back too. I know that. I know you'll be back.
Delighted to come back. I will always come back.
Perfect. Wonderful. Yes, and our wings will have expanded. When we come back for season 11, you guys, and it's less than 2 weeks. I think it's about 2 weeks. We're not gone very long. Come back with your wings up. Wings up. And enjoy. Yes, listen to this again. Enjoy Beth again. Enjoy all the replays from season 10. They're available to you until I come back with you live. And we're just getting everything ready. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm just kind of getting everything in place so that we have an amazing new season. And Beth, again, thank you. I love you for just helping me. I feel so happy. I feel so grateful and happy to end this season like this. It's perfect.
Oh, that's
divinely
so
perfect.
Yes, thank you. It's my honor, pleasure, and delight to end this season in this way, and I thank the divine for creating that internet Mercury retrograde problem that caused us not to connect 10 days ago, because this was the day that was meant to be.
This was intended to be exactly like this. So thank you, and thank all of you for joining us on yet another soulful adventure, another soulful season. I hope that you will consider Beth's beautiful offers, and so that you can experience the laughter and the joy and the healing and the expansion and the abundance that I know is your birthright. And yes, say yes to you. Say yes to receiving. I am sending waves and waves of love and light and joy and bliss and appreciation from my heart to yours. May you feel it, receive it, offer it to those you encounter today or tonight, wherever you are in the world. And as always, until next time, please give yourself full and complete permission to shine instead of shrink, express instead of suppress, and own that amazing, powerful glow of yours. I'll see you back here in this playground of light